All right, let's start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. All right, welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is A Financial Shift is Coming to This Place. And pretty much this is a title that came to me. A couple of days ago, I was watching some videos. I just can't remember the name of the video or what it was. There's so much information going out and coming in that it's hard to keep track of everything unless you write stuff down or, save certain things. And pretty much what I was watching was dealing with, so-called Halloween and the full moon that came in on so-called Halloween, which was yesterday, which happened to fall on the camp day on a Saturday, October 31st, 2020, year of prophecy. And you've had blue moons and different types of moons and full moons, on so-called Halloween and other time zones, or time, or should I say other times in history. But this particular year, there hasn't been a full moon like this one in roughly about 76 years. And I'm explain why. And I'm explain why the name of the lesson is A Financial Shift is Coming to This Place. And Lord's will, it'll be edifying. Now, pretty much I was just looking for something to kind of tie the monetary system into the RFID microchip. And that's pretty much it. RFID chips and cash, tracking every dollar, and that's what they want to do. And that's why it was so important for these international bankers to gain control of the finances of the world so that they can operate and push their agenda by being able to finance their agenda with other people's money. Damn devils. But let's get a couple of precepts. Ecclesiastes 7:11, wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. And this is why finance is so important in the upkeep of a kingdom. That's one of the main components, of that particular empire, because without finances, you can't fund anything. So it says, for wisdom is a defense and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. And the next precept is Ecclesiastes 10:19, a feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. And when you look up this term money in the scriptures, what you're going to come across for the word money is the word kasap, which means silver. Silver, money, silver as metal, as ornament, as color, money, shekels, talents. Because money is really expressed in gold or silver. You have other things that have value, but money and gold and money, should I say gold and silver, is the real money. You have precious stones and you have cattle and land and slaves and all that. That's all money. But the means of exchange for money was usually gold and silver. And this is why when we read about Abraham, whose name was Abram at the time, he was very rich in what? Let's see. Genesis 13:2, and Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. All right, now the reason why, you keep hearing this thing about a great reset, right? Well, the great reset pretty much is resetting the financial structure of the world. And the last time that this really happened, you could say on a worldwide scale, was during a time, well, before I even get to that, Let's go to this other article here that I have. This is Severe Weather Europe. It says after 76 years, a rare Halloween blue moon will be seen this Saturday, October 31st, which was last night. Here is what to know about the event and where to see it. And this particular moon, in this fashion that it was not another one like it for 76 years. It was 76 years ago that this actually happened on so-called Halloween. And we're going to get to it. It says, yes, you've read that right. A pretty rare event, and the first time most of us, a blue moon, the first time most of us. A blue moon will be visible on Halloween night this Saturday. The moon will be full across the entire northern hemisphere. The last time this happened was back in 1944. Keep that in mind. It's a very key date. And it will not happen again until 2039. Remember those Halloween scenes and pictures, full moon. Get ready. This year's Halloween will be a special event, a full blue moon. The last time this happened across the all time zones was on Halloween Day, October 31st, 1944. So 76 years ago. So now what else happened in 1944? But when you go back to July of this same year, approximately about 3 months before that, you had something known as the Bretton Woods Conference in 1944, which was what? It was a shift from the British pound being the world reserve currency to the dollar, the American dollar being the world reserve currency. So that was a monetary shift, So when I saw that this new moon didn't happen like that for 76 years, the last time it happened was in 1944, I immediately thought about Bretton Woods Agreement or the Bretton Woods Conference and how the dollar made a shift. So right now, what we're witnessing a financial shift in the world. They're talking about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and digital dollars and all that, but really the shift or this great reset is what? Really to go towards the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. Because after all, the main thing they want to do is they want to track every dollar. They want to track every transaction. They want to track everything you do in your life because they want to be like the Most High. And they want to have total surveillance and control over every slave on the planet. And that's why they're pushing so hot and heavy for this microchip, this vaccine, this lockdown, and all of this other crap. So now when we read the scriptures, outside of money being a defense and things of that nature, we know that the sun, the moon, the stars, and different things that happen in the heavens, this, like the so-called alignment of the stars, so-called of the planets, so-called shooting stars, so-called comets, and this, that, and the other. These are all signs in the heavens because the sun, moon, and the stars and the constellations of heaven were put there to usher in certain events. Outside of telling us, of course, the shift in the seasons of the year. The beginning of the year, the ending of the year, so on and so forth. It was also set up for signs and seasons. So when we go to Genesis 1:14, it says, and the power said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. So we're witnessing signs in the heavens of things that are to come. And Yahweh said, when you see these things happening, look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. So this could very well be it. If they continue on with this crisis, which I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't see why they would let this crisis go to waste when they have the world pretty much by the balls exactly where they want them. I don't know why they would let this go by, but if they do, then they would have to be something even greater than that. And this is a worldwide thing because the mark of the beast and the New World Order is a worldwide event. They don't want to take over a country or a continent or a town or a city or a block. They want to take over the world. And that's what they're on their way to do. So now let's go from there to Ecclesiasticus 43 and 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. So we're witnessing now a sign of the world that just happened here on so-called Halloween, which was a full moon, a blue moon. But not only that, it went across all the time zones in the Western Hemisphere. I'm sorry, in the Northern Hemisphere, as we read here. So the only other time that happened was 76 years ago in 1944, and then right after the Bretton Woods Agreement, when this sign came in, there was what, a shift in in the finance. There was a financial shift that took place back then, where the American dollar became the world reserve currency. So this time around, we know that they're trying to destroy businesses, destroy the economy of all nations so that they can introduce this microchip. Because at the end of the day, when we read Revelation 13:16, which we read a million times, and we'll read a million times more, as many times as the Lord wants it to come out. Revelation 13:16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So pretty much this is set up as what? Financial. This is a financial thing. It has nothing to do with Christianity. It has nothing to do with an embargo, because an embargo only keeps out certain countries. This has everything to do with implanting the whole entire planet. And it's not rich nations and poor nations. It's talking about everybody. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And up here it says that he calls it all, both small and great. Small people, great people. Not no people that are not famous, people that are very famous. Rich and poor, the rich people and the poor people of the world. Free people and bond people. So those that are freely walking about and those that are locked up in the prison systems, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And why are they going to make them receive this? In their right hand or in their foreheads? Because that is going to be the stamp of the devil, the stamp of the beast, to let the world know that this particular individual that has this mark is a total subject, a total slave to these bankers. And then it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that's what the whole reset is all about. This great reset that they got, which was an actual book that was written back in 2010, that they're using the term great reset for the times that we're living in now, for this shift in the financial systems of the world. And that's why it tells us in Revelation 3 and 10 that because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Because this is going to be a worldwide event. And you're witnessing it. The ones that of you that, the ones of us that whose eyes are open through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai are witnessing this great shift. We're witnessing the agenda and the plans of the so-called Illuminati, the New World Order, happening in the world. And a part of that New World Order is what? To make people perpetual slaves to this new system that they're on their way to establish. And that comes through an object called the microchip, or the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. And that is a financial mark that everyone is going to have to receive in order to be able to operate in this society. See, so everything is in place. Everything is moving forward according to prophecy. Everything is making a shift from physical, so-called currency, tangible dollars and cents and pennies and whatever, nickels, dimes, quarters, to everything being online. And that's what the credit cards and the debit cards and all that stuff, that was just a trial run to get people used to using their credit card. Because if you get technical, it is easier to pay with a card than it would be to pay with cash, but that's pretty much stupid because what they're doing right now is they're causing the people that have cash to have a harder way to pay than to actually use a card to pay, getting people used to that mode of not handling any cash whatsoever, because cash transactions cannot be tracked. I mean, they can track whatever money you get out of the bank, but they can't track what you buy with that money. See, and that's what they want. That's why they want a total shift in finance. So once again, back in 1944, which was the Bretton Woods Agreement, which was the financial shift of the time. You know, back in July, between July 1st and July 22nd, it was about a period of about 3 weeks. You know, in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, this is where they came up with the idea to make the dollar the world reserve currency. And from that point on, that the world had to operate under the dollar. So there was a financial shift back then, 76 years ago. And that October 31st of that same year in 1944 was the same blue moon or full moon that was seen across the whole of the Western Hemisphere. Just like today, the Northern Hemisphere, across the entire Northern Hemisphere, just like it is, like it was yesterday. You know, and it's no coincidence that now we're at the end of 2020, the year of prophecy, and they're the financial structure of the world is very stressed. So they're looking for a new way to relieve that stress, and they're talking about and implementing a cashless society, because that cashless society would help or will help them to better implement their agenda of the new world order through this microchip, because they want everybody chipped so they can track everything. You know, so I just found it kind of interesting when I saw, that the other day. Like I said, I was watching the video, I can't remember, and the spirit had me looking for this because I wasn't sure what it was. I didn't know if it was a blue moon, or I forgot exactly how it was worded. And then after a while, the spirit just said, well, type in full moon, last full moon, the last full moon or something like that of, I forget exactly how did I type it on the Google. I said last full moon on Halloween, and that's what came up. So this was back in 1944, 76 years ago. And remember, we read that the moon is set up for signs, seasons, days, and years. So things are happening, man. There's all type of stuff going on. We just got to keep our eyes peeled, and keep on watching and keep on reporting. So with that, I pray that you brothers have been edified. Until the next time I say Shalom, this is going to be something short. Lord's will, I have another lesson. If the Spirit allows, I'll do it either later or whenever the Spirit hits me. Shalom.